The Elysia XPRESSOR 500 compressor review. Hello, my name is Rio. I am a student at Musicians Institute, and today I am going to review this nice compressor. They have a really nice box that is not just cardboard box, but they have their own designs, like nice PCB board outfit. Specification, warning, all that stuff, little book, multiple language. I can't read this, but I got the Japanese manual, which I feel really comfortable reading it. Without further saying, let me introduce the basic function of this compressor. This compressor has a lot of functions which I really like. First, threshold, attack, release, ratio. These are the basic parameters for a compressor. Well, some compressor doesn't have all those controls, but those are the basic functions. And then for additional stuff, they have the sidechain filter, and then the mix knob, auto fast button. This auto fast button, when you press it down, it will automatically set the attack time for you. And then a log release button. This log release button, I found it really useful when you are compressing percussive instruments. It basically turns the linear curve of the release into a log curve, so the feeling of the release is changed. It is really nice when you shape the tone in a specific way. And then they have the warm mode. It basically adds tone or characteristic to your sound, which is lower frequency, like 150 to 300 range. I can be wrong, but it basically adds warmth to your mix. It can be useful in a lot of cases, but sometimes you might find it a little bit muddy, so please make sure don't put it on every single channel that you mix with this compressor. But it is a really useful function, I'd say. And of course, they have the makeup gain and the activation button. Okay, let's start testing the compressor. I am going to test this compressor with kick drum, snare drum, and overhead. So please check which one you like. So my opinion on this piece of gear is that this is a really precise, really nice gear that can work on basically any source, I would say, and it is extremely clean. And being a stereo compressor, it handles both channels perfectly. Like it preserves the entire feeling of the soundstage really well. The threshold can go really, really, really low, so that if you really want to do something very extreme with this compressor, he can do it with the threshold and ratio. And also the gain reduction limit function on this compressor serves also a really good function. In my opinion, this is something similar to like a mix knob, but if you want to preserve the characteristic of compression while still preserving some transients, maybe, then you can adjust the gain reduction limit so that it doesn't compress more than like 9 dB, 10 dB, or wherever you can set the wall to. The warm function adds kind of a surrounding feeling, maybe because it's adding some low frequency harmonics to it, and I really like it. For example, if you are doing something like the kick drum and you want the body, like you want the that kind of feeling, then you just engage it and it will give you that kind of feeling in a really good way. Another thing I noticed in this compressor is that it puts things forward. I can be wrong, but I feel like it adds some mid-range like 500 to 1K hertz after its compression. So it really puts things forward. If you don't like it, you just back it up a bit with your EQ. And if you like it, then great. This compressor is a perfect scenario for your mix. I've tried this compressor on multiple different sources, which is not included in this video. But if you would like to see what I did on my vocals and guitars and everything else, then I can make a different video. On percussive sources, if you dial in the parameters right, then you can really bring out that transient. Especially I noticed on the snare drum, it made the transient obvious and in a really good way. And if you're compressing something smooth like the overheads or like a room or vocal or piano or keyboard or some kind of source, it provides you with a really, really smooth response. Sometimes I'm compressing like 10 dB and I don't really recognize there's that much compression involved. I would think like, oh, maybe that's like 3 dB or 5 dB of compression, but actually this compressor was doing a lot of work. And I really like it because it handles the dynamic range really smooth and really well. Overall, I like this unit very much. Please tell me what you think in the comment, and I will see you in the next video.